What's up, dudes, and welcome back to my first time watch of the Bill and Ted collection. This time we're on part 2, which is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which I will be reviewing today. And of course, guys, there is going to be some brief spoilers, so if you haven't seen the series, you haven't seen part 1, go watch it, come back, and we can talk about it. But if spoilers don't bother you, without further ado, let's jump into Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. The Wyld Stallyns are back in this far-out sequel to the original time travel epic. This time, Bill and Ted must stop a madman from writing history on a journey that will take them through hell and back, coming face to face with evil robot doubles, aliens, and even Death himself to play the biggest gig of their lives. Bogus Journey, they had a doubled budget from the first film, and of course, as cool as the first film was with all the little quirks and everything like that, they actually went in a completely different direction. Whereas the first one was like a cool, fun ride through time, this was like a teenage fever dream. It was that crazy, which I don't even know if you can call it a 180, because instead of time traveling, what they did instead was actually throw in a thing of like life and death, and craziness ensued. Tonally, they still had the funny humor and everything, but this time it went a lot darker again because they ended up killing off the main characters. And then it was very cool because Keanu and Alex are back. They're bringing back the humor and everything. And, it's really those two that hold the glue together for these movies, because these movies are like absurd premises. The second one even more out there and crazier. Not only do they get to play themselves, but they actually get to play evil robot versions of themselves as well from the future. So it has a lot of cool, funny banter, and there's a lot of cool camera trickery involved in this film as well, which I really, really enjoyed. George Carlin is back as Rufus, but he's really more of a footnote, kind of more so than he was in the first film, and even in the first film we really didn't get to see too much of him. This one, like I said, they doubled the budget. They put a lot more money into a lot of the special effects and stuff like that, which is why you have little possession scenes and seance scenes with Bill and Ted. The way that they look, they were done up with like makeup and clothing that was like a totally black and white color and everything at certain points. The budget really excels when they go to hell and actually heaven as well, because in hell they have all these different effects going on. You see the devil, you see like how hell is, these rocks, chains, and then you see the different kind of sets that they built for the different kind of torture visions that they each go through. And then you get to one of the favorite parts of the movie for me personally, which is Death, played by Bill Sadler, who is doing an awesome job, and I felt like he was one of the most hilarious scene-stealing parts of the entire movie. Because, like, I don't know what it is, but he brings out some of this, like, straight man, silly man humor whenever he's with Bill and Ted, and it works so well, and I just love the character of Death. And they have so many funny moments, especially the moment where he's actually been challenged by Bill and Ted, in board games and everything, and it makes for some of the funniest shit I've ever seen on screen, and it works so well to me. Overall, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was a movie that took the Wyld Stallyns in a totally different and off-kilter direction. And it was kind of a bold thing, too, because they didn't just try to repeat the formula. They tried to take it into a new direction, build more kind of groundwork and everything for the world of Bill and Ted. And again, they didn't rely on the time traveling so much. They actually took it to a supernatural aspect. They focused on life, death, heaven, hell, all these different things. And then on top of that, they throw freaking Martian aliens into the mix. And it was just wild and crazy. But for all the crazy things that it does, which I've worn that word out the entire time I've done this review, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. I liked a lot more of the music, the themes, and kind of the stuff that they did in this film. And again, the focus was drawn more towards Bill and Ted, where in the first film, you kind of took that focus away and put it onto the ensemble of historical characters that they ended up, picking up and working with, and all the hijinks that they were through in there. I liked the way that this film did it a little bit more, kind of raised the stakes a little bit. It does get very cheesy at a lot of points, to cringe levels, and some points at the tail end of the film. But overall, I really enjoyed Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Like I said, I prefer this one more so out of the two. They were older, they were funnier, not so much wiser, and the fact that they dealt with a lot different themes and focused more on them instead of the ensemble of the historical characters like they did in the first one really amped up the hilarity for the film for me personally. And honestly, that coupled with the little shenanigans with Death and all the different things that they did with this film, especially the fact that they had evil robot twins in this, really, really, really heightened it for me. So overall, guys, out of this one, I give it a little bit slightly better rating of 3.5 out of 5 stars from the first one. And all I can say is, it's excellent! Well guys, that brings us to a close on my first time watch of the Bill and Ted series. And guys, I enjoyed the movies heavily, and now I can safely say that I am so pumped and ready for Bill and Ted 3, which is coming out later this week, and I can't wait to review that. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this excellent adventure, and guys, if you dug the video, like, comment, and subscribe. But guys, as always, I'm Jay, and until next time, take care, and be excellent to each other.